Hey guys, welcome to SuTube. It's April 18th, and I just recorded a video without the microphone plugged in, so let's try this again. I'm going to show you what I've been looking at with the Bitcoin chart, the EOS chart, and the Litecoin charts today. So first of all, with Bitcoin, I was meaning to make a video about both of these triangles that ended up playing out. I never did. I was busy snowboarding and fell asleep last night, so I never commented on the bigger one. But if you are in the crypto chat group that we have, you would know that I did point out both of these triangles. This one we had a few great touch points there. It was a pretty defined pattern. And this last one here, we even closed a red candle right above it and got our confirmation that the line was now turning to support. And after we got this close above, we did end up getting quite a pump, but it retraced immediately. And although that could be seen as bearish, look where we retraced to, guys. That's another perfect entry along that triangle. Another thing to notice is where this pump got taken to. If we take our local high here with our Fibonacci and we go to the bottom of the triangle that I was outlining, we have our golden 618 retracement being our rejection point right there. So this is one of those moments where you realize it's important to take profits, because right there, I mean, if you don't know where to take profits, Fibonacci lines can be a very, I guess, a good starting point to look at taking profits if you don't have any structure to base anything on and you want to make sure you're reducing yourself to any risk with these high leverage trades. So that was a great target to take a little bit of profits, and then you can either break even on the rest of your stop loss, or if you wanted to keep it low below the triangle because of this potential retest, or maybe even add back in the position you took out here and add it back in down there. I never did that. I waited until the bigger triangle ended up breaking out to get back in. But yeah, that would have been a second perfect entry had I been watching the charts and that sort of thing. But anyways, yeah, that's interesting how again we have the 0.618 line acting as a perfect resistance spot. And after that triangle had this happen, I mentioned to our group chat that I thought this line here, this yellow line, was going to end up potentially being an extended version of the triangle, just extending it a little longer. And sure enough, look, after we extended that, we got a couple more touch points really hanging out right along it, teasing it, testing it, and then we broke up and got our move. So that was another good play. I am out of that position now because to me this looks like a bit of a double top with a bearish divergence in the RSI, which can often be a sign of reversal. So I'm just going to wait for something else to develop here. I'm going to make a couple random trend lines just to, I guess, just to kind of watch if I can start seeing a pattern start to respect some lines that I've randomly placed there, just connecting a few points and try and get a few more touch points to validate more of a pattern. But for now, I'm just going to have to watch how this plays out a little bit. And yeah, that's kind of my scoop on Bitcoin right now. Oh, also, speaking of that double top with the bearish divergence, let's zoom out to the 4-hour. If we happen to rise a little bit more here and get, let's say, more close to the tops of these candle bodies, up around 7,400-ish, if we get up around there, we do have another bearish divergence potentially setting up along with the double top, so that's something that a guy's going to have to watch just in case it's some sort of reversal back down here. It would make sense. I wouldn't be surprised to see this green box tested again just to get closer to a double bottom type of formation if we are even going to continue up to the upside. Another level that's interesting is the 7,900-ish area, and I'll show you why. If I pull out the Fibonacci tool again from swing high to swing low, that once again is our 0.618 retracement as a bounce back up since that dump. So that's kind of a level I'm interested in watching if we either get even a couple wick fake outs above it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a rejection there if we even make it that far. Another thing to consider is I do have this other purple trend line potentially coming into play, and that came from these two top points and just extended that line. Might see another touch point fairly soon. Could also end up touching to the bottom of this red line that used to be our wedge. That could be a support resistance flip coming into play soon. So there's a few things to have on the radar, guys. My analysis can change very quickly, especially playing these short patterns. So, and obviously none of this is financial advice. You do your own research. I'm just showing a couple of my own personal opinions of what could potentially be setting up in a couple different scenarios. It's good to have potential bearish and bullish outlooks on the market, so you're ready to play it either direction. But that's enough about Bitcoin. Let's hop over to EOS. You guys remember that last video I made? I pointed out I entered a long position there. It was very small. It was more so a quick test playing the altcoins. But I told you I was more watching this triangle here, and sure enough, we did end up flirting with that again. And when we broke above and got our perfect retest there, it was time to play along again. So here it looked like we were topping out. I ended up taking my profits. Again, it was just like last time. It was shy of the majority of the move, but I did take my profits, so whatever, I can't complain. For now, I don't really have my eyes on anything specific. I am just watching a couple trend lines, just kind of see how they end up getting respected, but I'm not trying to force anything. It'll be what it'll be. I'm gonna let it play out for quite a while before I touch these again, probably. If I move over to Litecoin, you'll remember I was also looking at a play here. I ended up taking a long position at this blue line here when we did cross this green line that I was mentioning in my last video. And I said I would get stopped out if we break below that structure. We did, even though we had the sharp recovery and I would be in profit now. I took a loss because the move that I was looking at potentially happening, if I was wrong about that, was going to be, here's actually the measured move because I was checking, but I was worried that this was going to end up being a bit of a bear flag. And that is a move over 20% to the downside, and with leverage that's a move, well, that's liquidated. So I just really didn't want to take the chances on that. I cut my losses. I wasn't looking at the charts right, so that's trading, such is life. Anyways, guys, that's just a few charts that I'm looking at and a few random theories that I'm coming up with and that sort of stuff. If you like this content, if you wouldn't mind giving me a like, a subscribe, give a comment in the videos, recommend it to friends if you have friends who are kind of in the crypto space and learning about technical analysis. Again, none of it's financial advice. There's no guarantees in life, but this is just some things that I'm watching and trying to learn to crush these markets because it's a great opportunity. There's opportunities all around us, and learning to play these cycles is a very interesting skill and it's a lot of fun. So anyways, guys, stay safe out there. Have a good rest of your weekend, and talk to you next time.